Hello everyone, welcome to Code Languages. In this video, we're going to be looking at different things we can do to code our website and make it SEO friendly. Alright, so when building a website or coding a website, it's not just about making it look cool and fancy and cute and all that, but we want to make sure that web browsers and more importantly, search engine SEO bots are able to read and understand the content of our website, right? And when we do this the right way, it helps the algorithm, this search engine algorithm, to rank us our website higher in search results. All right, so this is an important part of coding. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to show you the website we're going to be using for this demo, for this video. Okay, this is a website that is built for like a local gym. Okay, I saw this website online and I liked it, and I was like, you know what, let me try to recode the site using my own HTML and CSS. All right, so I did that and it came out pretty good. You know, you could see it looks pretty nice over here. So I just do that to, to just sharpen my HTML CSS skills. All right, so what I like about websites like this is that you see it's a one-page website, right? So all the content of the website is on one page, and when the user clicks on the menu link, it takes them to the specific place they need to go to. They don't have to go through multiple pages, right, to get to where they need to be. If they want to go to contact, it will just scroll down to the contact area, right here. So I usually recommend websites like this because it's very easy for search engine bots to read, the content. It makes it easy for the bots to navigate your site. All right, if you're building a site for a local business like a gymnasium, maybe an accountant, or maybe a dental office, these kind of websites is ideal. All right, if it's an e-commerce website that has a lot of products, maybe you'd not want to use this. All right, so we're going to be using this site. We're going to try to optimize this site using some codes and see how we can make it SEO friendly. All right, so let's start off with the head area. This is the HTML for this website. So we're looking at the head area of the site, usually located at the very top of your HTML, very close to the doc type area. And some of these are kind of irrelevant, so we will skip those and focus on the ones that are relevant for SEO. So over here, maybe we could skip this one, but let me just talk about this part. So over here it says it's a meta tag that instructs the you can see where it says content IE equal edge. So it's instructing Microsoft browsers, right? I think the latest one they have is the Edge. I don't know if they've released a new one yet after Edge, but what we're using this meta tag for is that we're saying that if anybody using a Microsoft browser try to access our website, we want them to display our site in a specific version of Internet Explorer. Okay, so what would be some of the use case of this? In most cases, you don't have to worry about it, but let's just say maybe Microsoft released a fresh new browser and there are bugs in the browser, right? These things do happen, and you want to release your website, but you're like, you know what, because the new browser has bugs in it, I don't want my site to be displayed in that version, right? So you can set it so that the browser will open your content in an older version, right? So maybe the version before the new one was released, those ones have been updated and it's looking good. So you can set it and let Microsoft render your content in maybe an older version, right? So this is how you can instruct the browser to do that. Okay, the next one here is the title. Okay, the title is super important. It's sort of like the identity of your website. So when the search engine bots come to your site to crawl your content, especially if your site is new, the search engine bot doesn't know anything about your site, so it's gonna pretty much like ask you to show your ID, right? So it's gonna say, hey website, I don't know who you are, I never met you before, can you show me your ID so I know how to categorize you, I know what you're all about. So over here, the title is a way you can show your ID, the ID of the website, to the search engine bot, right? So over here I can say something like title fitness club, best fitness club in Columbus, Ohio, something like that, right? You could write it differently, but what I usually recommend is that you make sure you put in the right keywords, okay, in there that is relevant to the business. So you could ask the business owner, what are some of the most important keywords for your business, and then you could put that in the title, and the title usually is visible on the front end. So for example, when I go to the website and I place my mouse on the tab, you could see right here on this tab, you could see a little window pops up below. It says fitness club, best fitness club in Columbus. So I see that little window right there. Okay, so that's visible on the front end. All right, so you can also take the description meta tag to help the SEO bot further understand the content of your website. So we can add a meta description here right underneath the title, okay, and this one is gonna further describe your site. So you can add a little bit more keyword explaining what the site is about over here, okay. You can add that over here. All right, and then we can also add meta keywords, okay. I think the search engines still support that. I think they pay attention to that. SEO is always changing, almost every 3 months or every 6 months, but this seemed to be a little bit old school, the meta keywords over there, but I think search engines still honor that. So you could put relevant keywords about the business in there. Don't put like 500 keywords, like just about maybe 7 to 8 keywords. I think is ideal enough, because these search engine bots are becoming smarter, and so they don't need you to do too much. They just need you to give them a little bit guidance, and they can take over from there. All right, so we got the title, the description, the keyword section. The next one we're going to be looking at is the viewport area right here, okay. So this one here, this meta tag is telling you can see where I've highlighted, so follow along with me where the mouse is. All right, so this one is telling the SEO bot, is telling the browser also that your website is responsive, okay. And when I say responsive, I mean that your website is very well displayed on different screen sizes, okay. So it's mobile compatible, it displays very nicely on mobile devices. Whether it's Android or Apple, it displays well on iPads, right? So that is super important today. Before, it wasn't really a big deal. Your website didn't have to be mobile friendly many years ago, all right. But now almost 55% of searches, maybe I could arguably say close to 60% of searches online are done with mobile devices. So Google was like, you know what, we have to change the algorithm to push all those mobile compatible websites to the top. All right, so if your site is not compatible with mobile devices, it can hurt your ranking. All right, so it's very important. Now, along with that meta tag is something called media queries. All right, so you want to make sure that when you add this over here, you want to make sure your site is coded in a way that is truly responsive to mobile devices. Okay, so when you come here to your I'm in here in my CSS section. There's something right here called media queries. So you see that I added that, and then I added some code in here. All right, so all this is saying is that whenever someone views my website with mobile devices within this range, I want you to display the site in a certain way. Okay, so this is what this code does. One of the quick ways you can test how responsive your website is to mobile devices is you could just simply use your web browser, right? So when I do this, for example, when I do that, right, see that right over here. Okay, so this is sort of like an indicator that your site is pretty mobile friendly. Okay, all right, now then you can do other things to enhance it and make it a little better, but this is a quick way to test how responsive your site is on mobile devices. All right, so yeah, just a quick tip to let you know. All right, so it's very important to have your website display responsively. Okay, very, very important. All right, so we're going to move on to the next thing here, and that's called the adding alt description to images. Okay, now whenever browsers, and hold up, let me cut this call. All right, so whenever browsers visit your website, or let me say whenever search engine bots visit your website, they really act like they are dumb. Okay, although the bots are pretty smart, but in some areas they will act like they are dumb because they want you to tell them what certain things on your site is really about. Okay, and one of the areas is like images. Okay, and also audio files and video files, but we're going to pay more attention to images. Okay, so whenever you have images on your site, or you add images here in your code area, you want to make sure you add alt descriptions to the image. So all the alt is doing is giving a little bit more detailed description about that image. Okay, so like over here I just added logo because this is like pretty straightforward. I could just say this is our logo. Okay, but let's look at a better example. So I'm going to scroll down here. Okay, so you can see right here it is showing an alt description of this image over here, right? So I can always edit this and write it anywhere I want to, but the purpose of this is to describe what the image is about, because the search bot doesn't really know specifically what the image is. Okay, now recently there is new technology coming out. I think Facebook has that technology that can check an image and tell what it is. It's crazy, but I don't know, maybe they are using it quietly. I don't know, but for now, until that technology become more prevalent, it's important to just help the bot out, the search engine bots, to describe what your images are all about. Okay, and why is this thing important? Let me show you something. Okay, let's say someone is looking for images. Actually, let me use this one. Yeah, images of someone working out in the gym, right? So someone is looking for, and thousands and thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of people search Google this way. They don't really care about this other part, this text part. They just going for images, right? So they click right here, click on images right here. All right, and Google displays all images that they think is relevant to the keyword that was entered in. So if you add alt descriptions to your image there, and that alt description is quite similar to the keyword, there's a very, very good chance that your image will pop up right here in the search. Okay, and when the person clicks further, okay, when they click further and click on the image, it sends them to your website. So you see right here, it sent me to this website. And how did I get here? I got there through images SEO. So you could call this like images SEO. All right, so when you do this a lot in your website, when you add alt descriptions, you could get a lot of free traffic, all right, just by those looking for, you know, certain images, right? You could get a lot of free traffic coming to your website, all right? And some of them, you never know, could turn out, you know, maybe if you're a local business, they could stop by and you could get, you know, clients out of that. So all those little things do help, all right? Let me X this out real quick. Go back to my, all right. So we need to be adding alt descriptions, all right, to describe images. So you can see right here, I added one here and it's describing this image over there, all right. The next thing we want to be looking at is something called anchor text. Let me show you an example of an anchor text, all right. So let's say right over here, this is a good example of an anchor text. So the purpose of anchor text is just to simply link different pages of your website together. Okay, now in this case, I have a one-page website. So basically, I'm linking different sections of my website together. So here, I'm sort of like in the sort of like about us area, and I'm saying that read what our customers have to say. So when they click on the customer, you know, it will take them to the review section, right, where they could read about, you know, what the customers have to say. All right, let me look for another anchor text right over here. It says, if you have any questions about our plans, please contact us. So when they click, you can see that the contact us is hyperlinked, right? So when they click there, it takes them to the contact. So you see how I'm kind of linking different sections of the website with different areas, right? This SEO bots like that. Okay, if you have a website that has multiple pages, maybe like a really sophisticated website, you know, that has, let's say, 100 pages, right? When you link those pages together, it makes it easy for the bot to move from one page to the other, and they can understand the flow of your website, how your website connects. Okay, it makes it easy for them. All right, so yeah, that's what anchor links, you know, do. All right, so make sure you connect different pages of your website together within the site. Okay, another thing you can also do is to try to do outbound links. Okay, where if you're describing something on your website, and let's say you are part of a membership group, and you want to link to that membership group from your website, you could put a link on your website that will link the user or the audience to that membership group's website. Okay, all these things tell the SEO bot that you are helping users to navigate well, you know, on websites. So when you do that, you become their body. You want to become the body of the SEO bot. And when you do that, they will reward you and rank you higher. All right. The next thing we're going to be looking at is something called the canonical link. Okay, we're gonna look at the canonical link. And what is canonical link? There are instances where you may have duplicate content on your website, and the search engine bots do not like duplicate content. All right, because they get confused. All right, when you have duplicate content, they don't like that. So we want to avoid instances where we have duplicate content. Now, there may be situations where you may have to keep two different pages that are almost identical, right? So all you got to do is to use a canonical link to tell the browser that if you find these two pages on my website, I want you to take one of them and ignore the other. Okay, so that's what we're going to be. Now, in the case of this website here, everything is on one page. So what I did was I kind of created a second section of reviews. All right, so we got the first part of the reviews, which for demo purposes, we're going to say this one is more important to us. And then we got another section of the reviews also here. Okay, so the content here is sort of identical. Okay, although there's a slight difference, but it's kind of like identical in a way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a canonical link in the header section to tell Google, you know, that if you get in here onto my website and you see that section over here in the review section, I want you to pay more attention to the first part over here and sort of like ignore this part. Okay, so pay more attention to this part. All right, so over here we see here I added a canonical link right over there. All right, and this is how you write it. Okay, the link rel equal, you add the here canonical, and then you add the herf right there, and then you put the link to that section. Since it's a one-page section, I just put that link right over here, and that's it. All right, so the bot will now know that ignore this one and pay more attention to this one. Okay, so that's what a canonical link does. All right, the next thing we're gonna be looking at is adding sitemap to your site. Okay, again, I go back to emphasize why it's really important to build websites like this, because this website like allows me to escape having to add a sitemap, because it's so simple to the point where the bot pretty much understands everything, so I don't need to even add a sitemap. So here is a sample of a sitemap for a website. This is how it looks like. Okay, so this looks like some kind of e-commerce website. You know, usually sites that are very sophisticated will need to have a sitemap, right? Simple sites probably don't. All right, but you can see right here, this is a simple page that shows all the links of the website. Okay, it's showing each one of these is a link to each specific page of the website. Okay, so you may have about maybe 50 pages. All you got to do is just put links to the pages on that sitemap page. All right, and that's all there is to it. The whole point of it is to make it easy for the search engine bots to navigate through your website. Every time you do that, you make their work easy, they will reward you and rank you better. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a robots.txt file to the root folder of our website, and this file will contain code that will instruct the SEO bots or other bots not to crawl certain pages on our website, and it can also instruct them to crawl certain pages on our website or certain contents on our website. All right, and this is important, all right, because take for example, you have an e-commerce website, right, and you're selling stuff on the site, and then you have a thank you page on that site. And the purpose of the thank you page is that whenever a purchase is completed, the thank you page pops up, right, to confirm to the customer, the buyer, that hey, we've received your payment, you know, thank you for your payment, right? You don't want anybody else to see that thank you page. Okay, you don't want somebody who's just checking your product out, or someone who's adding to cart and, you know, maybe walking away. You don't want any of those to see the thank you page. Only those who cross that purchase threshold, those who finish the purchase, are the only ones who should see the thank you page. Okay, now if we allow the bots to crawl our thank you page, then it's a possibility that somebody somewhere online typing some keyword somewhere, doing some research, doing something online, could likely stumble upon that thank you page. Okay, that's a very good chance. So if that person who sees that thank you page is corrupt, unscrupulous person, they can contact you and say, hey, I bought something on your site for about $200. I haven't received the item. Here is evidence. Maybe you might ask them, hey, do you have a receipt or something? Oh, well, here is the evidence. I saw this thank you page after I bought the they probably, they are scamming you right there. So you don't want them to have to give you this headache of going to try to investigate what happened, why, calling your hosting provider or whoever or your developer, why did this happen? You want to avoid all of that. You understand what I mean? So this is where a robots.txt file can be helpful. All right, and let's say you also have PDF files you're selling, right? Maybe some ebooks or something like that. You don't want anybody else to access those files or PDF files or ebooks except those who actually made payment and are ready to download the files, right? So let's see how we can add a robots.txt file to the root folder of our website. The first thing I would want to do here is log into my cPanel. Okay, I'm with Namecheap here. I use Namecheap for some of my stuff. So if you have Namecheap, you should be seeing something similar to this. But if you have other hosting providers, maybe the user interface might be different, but the process is pretty much the same. Just look for your cPanel. All right. So when I go over here, I look for the domain or the hosting, where I want to upload my stuff. Just make sure you look over there, pick the one that is right for you, and then just go ahead and click manage. All right, and then it's gonna bring us somewhere over here, and then you just look for where it says, I'm using the shortcuts, right, where cPanel shortcut. So I see here where it says file manager. Okay, if not, you can just go to the cPanel, but I'm just gonna go to file manager, so it takes me straight to where I need to go. All right, and it brings me right here. Okay, so I want to be in the public _ HTML place, and it brings me right here. So this is where I want to drop that robots.txt file. Now you can create the file in here, okay, by just clicking this plus file over here and just put the code you want in the file. Or you can have the file created on your desktop and upload it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and create the file. I'm just going to go here. I right click over here anywhere on my desktop, and then I go to new, and then I click text document. All right. Please do not use Word document. Always use a text document. Okay. So I'm going to name this robots.txt. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and inside of it I'm going to put some codes that will instruct the bot that is coming to scan or crawl my website. Okay, so I'm going to say user, let's say we want to, just for demo reasons, we want to write some code to instruct the Google bots. Okay, so we're going to add something like user agent Google bots. All right, and I'm going to say, let's say I don't want them to crawl my thank you page. Okay, so I'm just going to say, assuming I have a thank you page, right? I don't have one on my demo site now, but just for demo reasons, let's say we have a thank you page. So we're going to say, I don't want you crawling my thank you page. So this one is sort of like this is like the extension link to your main to the main link, right? So it's gonna say like your website / thank you, right? Is what will send people to the thank you page. So we don't have to put the whole domain name over here. We just put in the extension of the link. All right. So let's say I have some PDF files on a certain page, and I don't want the bot to crawl that page. So I'm gonna say, let's assume I'm just gonna put something in the PDF content, something like that, right? PDF content, something like that. Alright, so when the bot comes in, it knows not to crawl my thank you page, it knows not to crawl the page where I have my PDF content. Alright, and let's say I'm gonna put my sitemap. Okay, so I'm gonna put my sitemap, HTTPS, and I'm gonna say HTTPS / let's say test your demo site.com. Now, because I don't have a sitemap on my site, on my demo site, but usually a sitemap will look something similar to this. Okay, maybe it could be a XML, something like this. All right, this is how a typical sitemap link will look like, but I don't have one on my website right now, but I'm just gonna leave it like this just for demo reasons. All right, just for demo reasons. Okay, so here this code is gonna instruct, like I said, it will avoid your thank you page, and it will avoid the page that has your PDF content. Okay, you can add some more rules if you want to. All right, so for example, let's say I want to add another rule that say user agent, user agent, and let's say I don't want maybe Google's ads bot to crawl my site. So I could say disallow, right? I could say something like disallow. Okay, so this one is saying that Google's ad bots cannot crawl my website. See right there. So let's say there is a specific image on my site that I do not want the Google bot to crawl. So let's say I'm going to add another one that says Google bot image, something like that, right? Google bot image. Then I'm going to say disallow. Okay, and then I'm going to add the extension that will locate where the image is. So let's say private, maybe I want to keep that image private, something like that. Okay, so like this. All right, so it's telling Google don't crawl the specific image. All right, that way that image will not be available online, right? Okay, so you can add different rules to this. If let's say you do not want any agent to crawl your website, if you just want to block all bots, you can say something like user agent, right? And then you can have an asterisk right there, and then you can say something like disallow right there, disallow. Okay, so this one is going to tell any bot that tries to crawl your website, they cannot do it. Okay, so the asterisk is indicating that this applies to all bots, all right, that they can't crawl your website. Okay, so make sure you know what rules you want to apply. Don't add confusing stuff over here, right? Just make sure you know what rule you want, choose the rule you want. Also, try not to have more than one robots.txt file. If you do that, you could cause confusion for the bots, and they don't like that. Okay, so yeah, one is enough. You have a lot of space to add whatever rules you want to add to it. All right, so after we have this, now we want to save this. Let me go ahead and I have it saved in here on my desktop. Let's see, okay, good. So it's saved now on my desktop. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna upload it. So I'm gonna click right here, upload, and I'm gonna do that, and then look for the where is my txt file? Robot is right over here. Okay, and I'm gonna drop it in the root folder. It says 100% complete, so I'm gonna put it right here, and there it is. Now just be careful, you don't want it to say .txt, okay, because if you do that, it could cause some problems. So make sure it's only one txt. Okay, whoops, let me correct that here. Okay, hold on, let me just rename this .txt and rename. Okay, good. So it's a robots.txt. Okay, so we now want to confirm to make sure that this file is active. Alright, so to do that, we could just go to our website and just add / robots.txt. Okay, I see it over here, robots.txt. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter, and as you can see right here, the code we added is showing over here. Okay, so whenever you see this, when you see your instructions or the code you added here, it means that the file is ready to enforce the instructions you gave to that to the bots. All right, so this is a good indicator that the file is working well. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comment area if you have other ideas as to how to optimize your website using code so that your website will be SEO friendly. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, take care and have a wonderful day.